nephew, Karmelo Anthony, is one step closer to obtaining the justice that he so rightfully deserves.
I get that you want an appeal to support a young man, but he killed somebody. And because he killed a white boy, y'all don't care. And y'all out rallying for justice. Justice is served. He killed somebody for no mother freaking reason. We've had people try it, review it, and the feedback has been absolutely amazing. Whether you choose guilty or not guilty, you're getting a premium bourbon with flavor, style, and a brand that stands out. Not Guilty has the smooth sweetness people love, and Guilty brings the bold, classic bourbon character. All you gotta do is go to verdictbourbon.com, plead your age, and face the verdict for yourself. You must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly. All right, let's get to Karmelo Anthony, an update in this case. It appears that the judge that presided over the original case has recused himself. And what I will say is that I can't do nothing but be honest with you guys. Black people as a whole, like a group, not individuals. There's individuals that have always, in the history of this nation, have been individuals that have done incredible things, that have been incredible, smart, exceptional, changed the world, add value, all of that. Individuals. As a group, black people are the most dysfunctional group of people, the most ignorant group of people, the most anti-American group of people that I've ever seen. It is asinine for me that you look at any comment section, majority black people, not all, but the majority of them is crying over Karmelo Anthony as if he didn't do nothing. Now, I wouldn't say nothing if white folks had a white boy stab somebody to death and they all rallying and wearing purple and get justice for Tyson. You're not gonna see that. Because I get that you want an appeal to support a young man, but he killed somebody. And because he killed a white boy, y'all don't care. And y'all out rallying for justice. Justice is served. He killed somebody for no mother freaking reason. They're at a track meet. They get into an argument. He stabbed somebody in the heart. He deserved to go to jail. But because he black and the melanated people, I don't know if slavery did it or what. Common sense just do not exist. Roll it.
I'm Eden Shekel. Thanks for joining us. The judge who presided over the Karmelo Anthony case in Collin County was recused today. A new judge will take over tomorrow for Anthony's appeal hearing. The 19-year-old was convicted of murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison back in June for the 2025 Frisco track meet stabbing of Austin Metcalf. And today's ruling is considered to be a win for Anthony. Fox 4's Alex Boyer was inside of the courtroom and has details on what's next. Alex.
Hi, Eden. Yeah, certainly a win for Karmelo Anthony today as his legal team pushes forward for a new trial. As we now know, Judge Roach is now out, and a new judge who has yet to be identified will take over this high-profile case from here. Now, like before, no cameras were allowed inside of the courtroom for this morning's hearing. Karmelo Anthony was wearing a green prison jumpsuit and handcuffs initially when he was brought in by the bailiffs. His hair cropped short. Anthony, who is now 19 years old, convicted of the murder of Austin Metcalf back in June and sentenced to 35 years in prison after a jury had rejected his claims of self-defense during a confrontation with Metcalf at a school track meet last year. Now, Anthony's legal team, led by Russell Wilson, argued this morning that a retrial was warranted in part because Judge Roach enforced overly strict courtroom rules, which really limited public access, and also gave a TV interview 2 days after the trial was over and well within the window for an appeal to be filed. Now, the judge sided with the defense and ordered that Judge Roach be recused. That led to cheers outside of the courtroom by dozens of...
The only reason that this is even happening is because it's black folks out here protesting and these corny, weird white people who feel like they have a debt to black people in perpetuity are going to do something they would never do for anybody else. Overly strict rules in the courtroom. Karmelo stabbed a kid in the chest. There is no justification for stabbing somebody in the chest who was unarmed. Especially when what is your argument? Self-defense? Self-defense has to be proportional. A person can't come up to me and I initiated it because I'm under a tent I'm not supposed to be. I get confronted, and because the person, I don't want to fight, I get to stab the person. A deadly weapon is a deadly weapon no matter what. Karmelo stabbing him or shooting him is the same thing. He utilized a deadly weapon to kill somebody. So you can't just shoot somebody because they tell you to move and you don't want to move. It's witness statements from kids who were black and other kids who were there at the track meet said that Karmelo Anthony was the aggressor. But because these silly, spineless white people feel like that they got to capitulate to black fake suffrage, that they allow foolery to happen. If the boy, in the race to me don't matter. You stab somebody in the chest at a track meet, you shouldn't have had a knife, and you cannot justify a use of disproportionate amount of force, and you can't justify acting as if you needed to self-defend. It's you go to jail, you get time in jail, you kill somebody's kid. That's race aside. When you add race into it, you add ignorance into it. Because now the person who should be going to jail for killing the person for no real reason got this going on. Roll the clip.
Karmelo Anthony supporters who listened into the proceedings from an overflow courtroom and then marched and chanted outside here in the parking lot. I spoke with Pastor Freddie Haynes about the outcome.
To remain hopeful and prayerful that justice is indeed served. We are not insensitive to the fact that a life was lost, but we also don't believe that two lives should be lost through injustice. I'm blessed to have the family to want me to serve as kind of a pastor to pray for them, and he's paying a price right now. A life was lost. And so he is paying a price. I don't think that should go without being stated.
So Metcalf's family, who of course was also in the courtroom today, appeared stunned and obviously disappointed by the ruling. They did not have any comment as they left the courtroom. Now keep in mind that this is just step one. Tomorrow, the new judge, who again has not yet been identified, will ultimately hear arguments from Anthony's same legal team, who is here today asking for a new trial, raising constitutional and legal challenges to the original trial. I, of course, will be here for that hearing as well.
Like I said, they out here doing this, but they won't do nothing when other young black men are killing each other, and they're not getting justice either. That's the part that bothers me, is the selective outrage and the selective support. Young black men are laying dead in the streets every weekend, and nobody's snitching, and their family don't have any justice. They just got killed, and nobody cares. And black people don't rally together and get on the doorsteps and wear all purple for anybody else. They only know how to support people that they believe had racial animus involved. And they're too stupid to understand if it's racial or not. So just because he's white, and people get mad at me and they go, Brandon, you do. No, I love good, smart black people. But the dumb ends irritate me. I can't stand black people like this. I can't stand the pure ignorance. Look at what they doing. Roll it.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! When do we want it? Now! Say his name! Say his name!
Y'all, our nephew Karmelo Anthony is one step closer to obtaining the justice that he so rightfully deserves. This crinkle-faced, decrepit judge, John Roach, was recused from any further proceedings pertaining to the Karmelo Anthony case. I'm so proud of our people, too. We really showed up and showed out in numbers for Karmelo today, and hopefully we're able to do the same thing tomorrow. Now, it's still an uphill battle. Just to remind y'all, today we were going after the motion to recuse Judge John Roach over his allegations of bias, which we got the win for that. Tomorrow, there's going to be a hearing on the motion for a new trial. Hopefully they're able to throw those bogus 35 years out and grant this baby the justice that he deserves. Justice for Karmelo. We're rooting for you, baby boy.
What do we want?
All right. The low vibration of black stupidity is bothering me. Well, one thing is that we throw the bogus 35 years out. They could have given him life. An all-white jury, y'all claim, gave him 35 years instead of life in prison. I feel like they gave him a fair middle ground assessment. But when you're stupid and you don't understand the law, you're just willing to say whatever. A judge recusing himself, in my opinion, they should have just said, no, you don't need to recuse yourself. People need to get over it. But if they did recuse himself, that don't change the law. That don't mean that you get another judge that's going to say, oh, I'm just going to do something different in the law. Either he broke the law or he didn't. According to the statute, he broke the law. There is plenty of white people, white cops, that many believe have been done unjustly. You don't see them out here protesting and acting up in justice for so-and-so. I feel like white people have the maturity and IQ to diagnose if a person has done something wrong. Majority of them can see that person is wrong. That person is wrong. Y'all don't have a filter. Every black person that's ever been killed by a white person is always right. It's literally, I don't know what happened. And we can't blame slavery forever. So it's something in the 60s that happened to black people to make them so ignorant like this. If your protest was effective, your numbers will be way up here. But your homicide numbers are up here as far as per capita higher than anybody else. Abortions higher than anybody else. Poverty, number one. Baby, y'all number one. You want to go down the list? Education. Go to some of these black schools. Y'all should be protesting in front of these schools. Kids can't read. Y'all cool with that. But justice for Karmelo, but your kids can't even read at the school Karmelo went to. Lord Jesus, help us.